Sawasdee krap. Welcome to Thailand News Today on a rather wet day here in the island of Phuket. It hasn't been the usual torrential downpours though you'd usually expect from this sort of tropical weather. It's just been an ongoing drizzle that started at about 6 this morning and it's just been going on all day. Just got a little bit of a respite, so ran out just to do today's news. But enough about the weather, we've got a busy day of news, so let's get started. And in news just to hand, and probably not terribly surprising, the Constitutional Court has ruled today that the Thai PM Prayut Chan-o-cha has not violated the Charter by staying on in his army residence, so can remain in office. The court ruled that the military regulations allow former officers to remain in their army residence after retirement. Today's verdict comes amongst political unrest that's been escalating since July, with pro-democracy protesters demanding the Prime Minister's resignation, constitutional change and reform to the role of the country's monarchy. After nearly 9 months being grounded due to the coronavirus pandemic, Thai Airways is about to take to the skies with some new flights between Bangkok and Chiang Mai and Bangkok and Phuket. The flights will start back up on Christmas Day. Flights from Bangkok to the two key tourist provinces, well just about everywhere for that matter, have been grounded since April the 1st. Starting December the 25th, the airline will run 3 flights a week on both routes. Thailand Air, Thai Air Asia, Nok Air, Thai Smile, VietJet Air and Bangkok Airways have already returned to the domestic skies since July and slowly adding frequency to their routes. In addition to resuming the domestic flights, Thai Airways is relaunching some international flights from January till March, including weekly flights to Frankfurt, London, Copenhagen, Sydney, Seoul, Manila, Taipei and Osaka. Flights from Bangkok to Tokyo will be available 3 times a week, and flights from Bangkok to Hong Kong will be available every day. 97 police from 41 police stations around Thailand are being investigated over a possible COVID-19 payment scam, payments meant for other police officers. The money was meant to be paid to police who worked extra shifts during the lockdowns. The case was assigned by National Police Chief last month when it came to light that some officers may have fraudulently claimed allowances meant for others. In one incident, an officer responsible for transferring extra payments to police in Phuket transferred the money to his own accountant instead. At the time, the transfer was dismissed as a misunderstanding, with the officer in question receiving a warning. The rest of the investigations will be completed within 10 days. The Thai Cabinet approved a national increase on the speed limit up to 120 kilometres an hour. It's designed to improve traffic flow. We're not so sure. The new maximum speed limit of 120 kilometres per hour has been confirmed after the Thai Cabinet approved a draft regulation proposed by the Transport Ministry. If you've ever driven on a Thai freeway or motorway, you'd already know that much of the Thai traffic already drives well in excess of 100 kilometres an hour, and sometimes even more than the new 120 kilometre per hour limit. The new speed limit will be applicable only to highways with at least 2 lanes travelling in the same direction and traffic islands and barriers in between. But the new speed limit won't apply to buses and trucks. Well, from army intelligence to fun run to unbiased opinion, we've got a new oxymoron added to the English language today, courtesy of the TAT. How about ASQ Paradise? The Tourism Authority of Thailand has put the 2 contradictory words together in its new promotion called ASQ Paradise. A new website was launched allowing users to search for alternative state quarantine hotels in Thailand for a happy quarantine. The website features 107 ASQ hotels offering 2-week quarantine packages ranging from 27,000 up to 220,000 baht. The website's available in English and Chinese languages. And speaking of the Chinese, they, just like the rest of us, have been largely prohibited from travelling of late. That hasn't stopped them though from going to the moon. A Chinese space probe has landed on the surface of the moon to bring back the first lunar samples in nearly 5 decades. Since the US dropped its Apollo missions to the moon in 1972, the Earth's only natural satellite has, well, been a bit lonely. The Chinese space program has poured billions into its space program, with hopes of having a crewed space station by 2022 and eventually sending humans to the moon to establish an ongoing lunar base. Chang'e 5 touched down on the near side of the moon yesterday. It will spend a total of 48 hours on the surface of the moon before reuniting with its mothership, which will then bring the lunar probe back to Earth. Well, after dashing inside after a quick shower here in Phuket and a change of shirt apparently, just to remind you that the Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has been acquitted of all charges by the Constitutional Court, as we mentioned at the start of the bulletin. The full story about that is at thetiger.com. We say goodbye today. We hope you subscribe to the channel. We thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.